Ed Bowie joins us in studio, Executive Director of AOC. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Good to be here.
How are you?
I'm great. I was
Good.
just talking. I don't know why I lucked into such a great thing, but I'm living the dream. It's
That's
good to be me.
Awesome.
You know,
It is. It's
I was
rare,
gonna-
but
well, I was listening to you talk before about just being thankful for the way things are, and I almost don't think it's anything external. It's not that things are that good. It's that you have the mindset where be happy for what you got.
Yeah,
and
well,
make the most
you've
of
opened
it.
a can of worms. I came to talk about AOC, but I'm switching right here.
Oh, that's
Okay.
fine.
That's
Talking
good.
about you can, and this is the story of my life, and I was a curmudgeon, and I'm still known to be a curmudgeon. Sort of a bad attitude. I could complain about the windfall of money, and then something came upon me a few years back, and I became aware that things aren't so bad, and I started. And you use the term gratitude. You have a little gratitude, and it infected me. And then a distant friend who's one of these psychic types said something like, Ed, you have an ability to manifest your own energy that other
Amen.
people don't have.
Mhm.
And I never heard that word.
Yeah.
And so to get this back to a topic your readers want to listen to,
Well,
Some of them read.
I started trying to, you can make your own life what you want it to be by believing it in your head. And strangely
Absolutely.
enough, it worked. And now, man, darn, I'm here, the Johnny Appleseed of you can be what you want to be if you make up your own dadgum mind.
I
Yeah.
love that.
But that's easy to say.
I
Right.
listened. I
Yeah.
listened to the. You did an hour-long show with Bernie a few months
Mm-hmm.
ago on Up Close, which airs on Saturday mornings, and now on Sunday mornings too. You got another time slot, which is
There
good.
you go.
But
I can
Let
talk
me
twice,
invade.
Shay.
Yeah.
I can talk twice.
But I listened and I was so excited to see you whenever Bernie and I talked about the schedule and knowing that you were coming on, because I got into this long conversation yesterday about people's varying level of satisfaction, and unfortunately, I'm one of those people who has just pushed the envelope so far so many times that now it takes a lot to feel like I'm doing something crazy. Where you know what I'm saying? It just it takes a lot, and I'm not talking about anything illegal, luckily, yet. But,
Well,
but
that's
I mean,
a benefit of being old. Free counseling here again. Once you reach my age, you've done it all, and you know if it hurts or not, and if the pain outweighs
worth
the
it.
gain, and so I still do crazy things, but they're not permanently painful.
Okay.
Little quick term pain is not so bad.
Yes.
Well,
So,
pain helps you learn.
It does.
You
It
know,
does help
it's a very
you
good
learn.
teaching
It's
tool.
it's a teaching tool. The more you lose, the more you learn.
I
That's
think
right.
about happiness, and I also think about great things that make this community what it is.
Yes.
AOC is one of them.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's a segue.
Well, we
Wasn't it
saw it.
beautiful?
We saw it happen. The fact that AOC became a punchline on SNL in the past year.
Now that was
was-
a story right there.
It was interesting.
Yeah. I'd like to say that was because of my shrewd management skills. I made contact with people in New York, and I used my networking. But basically, I woke up that morning and my phone was ringing off the hook, wanting to know what I had done to get us on Saturday Night Live, and I didn't know
Yeah.
that it even happened. And the buzz, it was my AOC's 15 minutes of fame, and it was a big deal. I heard from friends that I haven't seen or heard in 30.
Really?
Oh, it was everywhere, this AOC thing. And of course, we were thanked and blamed for doing such an
Of
awful
course.
job. Because let's just be honest, I'm happy they used my name, but it was such a bad skit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be
love
like,
you.
no,
But it
AOC has endorsed this skit.
Yeah.
We don't think this of our community, not at all.
Yeah.
Right.
But so we were somewhat thanked and blamed for creating that, which is, I'll use that as a segue. That's what we do. We
I was
we
gonna
allow
say.
people we allow people to create what they want, and it would not be out of character for that very similar to that same show happening at AOC. But it wouldn't be New York actors, and they wouldn't have bad accents.
Yes.
And
Right.
They would know what a Cajun is, and so forth. So it would be an authentic version of what that comedy skit was, and that's kind of what we do.
So you can members of the community can learn to create podcast, television shows, and you offer several workshops to help get people involved and to learn how to use this equipment. I love to go to festivals and different events and see the AOC tribe, running around with equipment and everything. And a lot of times, I mean, you're talking about equipment, and I know you're not going to take all the credit because you're much too humble for this, but you're looking at some of this equipment, and it's things that the TV stations aren't using yet
Yeah,
for
man.
video. The iPads were deployed.
That's a good point. We loan our equipment to the real TV stations here in town on occasion. We are fortunately we're well equipped. Lafayette has a lot to be proud of for what AOC is currently currently doing. I'll be back in a few months to talk about our fundraiser and our income shrinking, because those things haven't happened yet, but they're happening now.
Right.
But we're well equipped, and our core mission is not so much to give you the equipment to use, which we will. It's to make sure you have a voice. And you two are prime examples. And Bernie and I talked about the importance of the kind of things you can do if you were unrestricted by time constraints and advertising. Long form interviews, things like that. That's incredibly important to a community. AOC is here to do that. We can do things you can't.
Well, just as a time capsule, I love to look at the things as inconsequential as something may look at.
I am loving you, because you're hitting all of my buttons. I don't even bring notes. This is good.
You look at it because, okay, let's just say you have this long form piece, and maybe it's not very exciting at the time. Maybe it's
let's be honest.
Yeah, it's long and it's everything else. But then what do you do when whatever said festival they're covering that may not be interesting at the time, someone decides, well, we don't need to have that anymore. Well, now you still have this living record. That's
right.
We have our archives of festivals, but all of the presidents, the mayor's presentations, all of the political debates, all the council meetings, almost, and this is an overstatement, but almost every public presentation of consequence we've recorded, and those are archived and available. So we're a bit of we're creating the digital cave dwelling drawings. Whatever people say, this is the equivalent.
The Library of Alexandria, a la
Lafayette,
Louisiana,
digital
and
server
we'll
room.
take it.
That's
right.
good. Yeah, we are in fact we're creating the library of what they will find if they can open those files. Whatever that is. Hey, we found these thumb drive looking things. What are we doing now?
But then you have folks like yourself to blame for why I have to deal with Mark Pope every day.
I'm going to say it right here on Mark's radio. Is he talking to one of these mics? I want to use the Mark Pope mic to say this. Mark Pope is everything you think he is, and I'll just leave it at that. So you can think what you want. It's probably true about Mark. But he is and I don't know if he tells you the truth about AOC, but he cut his radio teeth learning to speak in public at AOC.
A lot of people around here know him from there.
Yeah, we've pushed, for better or worse, we've pushed a lot of people into this business. Which I'll use this as a segue and take it back. We were talking about AOC workshops. You two would be great to teach what we call a lanyap workshop.
Wait, you want us to try to instruct someone?
It's easy, because what we do is we have people that are interested in, we'd use you, for example, and say, look, women interested in media. I came up in media before women, I was an early adopter of females in media, and I'll talk to you about the struggle, and you talk about how to fill an air. An hour of time without saying anything. And make it sound good. And so that's two classes the public would enjoy. You could get some exposure and do it, and AOC looks like a hero for making people slightly smarter about what's really happening in this room right now.
Just to see it.
And there's the career later. Did either one of you, I'm taking over here, did either one of you learn, or did you grow up wanting to be on radio? How did you end up
I
here?
always did. And the reason was, when I was a kid, this is a weird story, of course. My favorite program when I was like 5 or 6 years old, this proves my weirdness and nerdness. My favorite show was 60 Minutes. And because my parents always listened to KPEL back then. Okay. And then I got into the teen years. My parents were still listening to KPEL.
So radio's been an influence on you at the deepest level, right? And
how
about
a TV guy,
but mine was never the medium. It was more just news.
Yes.
And
it was journalism.
Yeah, and the part about it to me was, growing up in New Orleans, I always had this weird connection to people on TV, because in my mind, when the anchors came back on TV, you knew, as bad as the world seemed like it was ending everywhere else, at least in that one room, they still have electricity. And they're dressed.
And everything is cool.
And everything's cool. And that was what drew it to me.
I think we need to do a long-form conversation about how this is awesome. Yeah, that's you got journalism in your blood. You grew up on 60 Minutes, and how do we bring the rest of the people in this community aboard? That it's probably more important to have those kind of things in your bloodstream than it is to know if Ariana Grande is fighting with Cardi B.
I know. Yes. Don't you feel like we're losing a battle some days?
Well, I don't know. Yeah. We fight the battle whether the other team knows we're fighting them or not.
So where can people find out about these workshops?
Yeah, let's get back to the workshops. AOC, it's all on the website, AOC INC. That's AOCINC.org. Everything is listed there, but it's an evolving situation, because I've just hooked 2 people, ladies and gentlemen, that have agreed to do a small workshop at AOC in the near future. So watch for that. So tune in every now and then. You might subscribe. We have a digital newsletter thing, so we'll tell you when the classes are. But they run, some weeks we have 5 in a week, some weeks we'll take a week off. But we do 56 workshops that are already scheduled in the next 6 months.
Wow.
And then we have probably another 12 that are not scheduled that'll crop up. And then a quick plug to moms and dads out there looking for something to empower their kids. Every Monday afternoon, we do a Monday afternoon thing. Helps if you register, but you can drop your kid off between ages 13 and 18. And we do things like, this Monday it's going to be stop frame animation and storytelling. So it's an hour and a half of how to tell a story and use stop frame. And then we'll do movie makeup, and then we'll do interview with a disc jockey, and then we'll do video scavenger hunt. But we do those every Monday. You ought to check ahead in case something comes up. It's a holiday.
You know,
it's all on the website.
I didn't know this. Tiffany Deku, Lafayette Food Junkie, she was on just before you, actually texted me and said the idea for her radio show, which I think is about 5 or 6 years running here on KPEL, came from going on another show on AOC called Cypress Street Radio.
Well, there you go. Okay.
And she said that's where she got the idea that she wanted to do it this way too.
Wow.
Thank you, Tiffany. AOC will take more credit for planting another seed in the media echo culture here. This is good. We'll take it.
Ed Bowie, great information as always. We'll get the information up on our website, kpel965.com.